I'm going to guess that you either have an amazing offer already or you're in the middle of creating one and you know this offer is amazing, that it's a real solution, that it's going to serve your clients so well. But then when it comes time to sell, you freeze. Because I think I can say this with somewhat of authority because I freeze too. You really wonder if anyone even cares, if your story really matters, and you probably second guess yourself all the time, even though you've literally proven that your offer helps people. I feel this. This is something that I am working through, that I think I'm getting better at, but oh my goodness, it is so hard. But let me tell you something that I have been learning the hard way. People don't just buy your products. They buy proof that it works. So today I'm going to dive in about why testimonies are one of your most powerful marketing tools and how we can use AI to take one testimony and make it amazing. Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to AI for Mompreneurs. This podcast is for moms who are tired of doing everything the hard way. You're running a business, managing a home, caring for your children, and making a million decisions daily, exhausted, overwhelmed, burned out, and out of time. Another planner won't fix it, more productivity hacks won't either. I know because I've been there. I'm Samantha Welch, a wife, a mom to 3 daughters, homeschooling my girls and my niece, running multiple businesses, and managing my 40-acre farm. I've burned myself out more times than I can count trying to do it all with excellence. The game changer, AI. When I learned how to use AI as my personal assistant, everything shifted. I finally had systems that worked, clarity in my business, and more time for what actually matters. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Learn how AI can take the mental load off your plate so you can focus on what truly matters most. No tech jargon or complicated setups here. Just AI that works for mamas just like us. Are you ready? Let's dive in. So you can say that your program works all day long, right? But when someone else says it, that's when trust is built. It's like the difference between just shouting into a void and starting a conversation. Real people, real stories, real transformation, that is what resonates. Especially for us moms who are already overwhelmed and skeptical of everything that feels a little too polished, right? You know what I mean. The best testimonials I found, though, don't sound like marketing copy. In fact, some of the best testimonials I have found, it sounds like my client is texting her best friend. Like example from my own program is one of my clients said, I can't believe how much lighter I feel. This assistant thinks like me. It saved me like 2 hours yesterday. You wouldn't necessarily think of that as being like the typical testimonial, right? Because a lot of times it's like this program blah 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 and then it did this and then it did this or whatever. But those kind of testimonies, they sell me because I'm like, wait, 2 hours yesterday? I love saving hours. Like, and it's not just this generic like it saved me like 12 hours in the last year. Like, who cares about that? But 2 hours yesterday, I could definitely use, right? And so that is what's so cool. So let's talk about how do you collect great testimonials, even if you're not good at asking. Here's a simple system that I use to collect great testimonials, and you can use this too. At the end of your program, I want you to actually send your client and ask them to just talk to you like they would a friend telling you about what the program did. So, what was your life like before it? What changed? What would you say to this friend who was considering the program? Then I want you to take their answer and I want you to put it into ChatGPT, and I want you to say, pull out a few short quotes from this testimonial that really shows transformation. or speaks to the pain point of my ideal client. And then it's going to do that. Oh my goodness. And then turn this into a 3-sentence summary for Instagram, create a testimonial quote for my website, draft a caption that tells this story and points to my offer. Oh my goodness. You don't need to come up with your own messaging. No more do you need to guess what your client might be experiencing with your program. Just literally take their words and then show how your program works for them. So let's talk about how I actually train my AI assistant to pull out phrases like this, because I know that the prompt I gave you was super vague. And if you haven't already trained your assistant on this, it might pull things out that are not super relevant, especially if it doesn't actually know your ideal client inside and out or whatever. What you need to do is you actually need to tell your assistant, tell ChatGPT all about your ideal client. And you can actually have it help you with this. So do something like, give me 20 questions to answer so that by the end of me answering these questions, you know my ideal client and her pain points inside and out. And then I want you to have it give you those questions, answer those questions in as much detail as possible. And you guys know me, if you're a typer, amazing, but I find that I actually get the best training done when I speak it out, because there is something about being asked a question and then just being able to speak out, and that I feel like is very powerful. So answer those questions. Either you can type this out, but I would encourage you to actually voice memo the answer to those questions. So answer those questions, put it into ChatGPT, tell it to remember your client, and then that's whenever you can take those testimonials. And even if so here's one thing that I have found that has worked really well for me, is that whenever I have started a new program, I will actually give it away for free about 3 times. And when I say free, it's actually not free, because I have a deal that I will teach the program, I will do this, but then in return, the client gives me feedback. Like, it tells me like how I could do better, what they loved about it, did it actually do the transformation that I wanted. That's just good business to test out your product. And then if it does everything that you said it did, and it really did have this transformation, have them write you out a testimonial. And then you can use those testimonials to have that social proof that your program is legit, it worked, and it changed lives. So that was a little side note, but once you get your AI assistant trained, then that's whenever you can be able to repurpose these testimonials into things that are actually legit helpful. And so every time you ask it to give you a social proof blurb that you can put on a website or on a sales page, or carousel captions that just really speak to your client, or a sales page headline, whatever it is, even podcast content. If you have a podcast, every time you ask that, your assistant will pull from what it knows about your client so that you are actually addressing those pain points, and you are better able to sell your program because you are speaking to your person. So that is what I wanted to talk about with testimonials. I think they are so important. And if you do not already have testimonials, but you have this amazing program or this amazing course or whatever it is that you are working to sell, I encourage you. I know that there's a bunch of stuff out there where it says never give anything away for free, and I agree with that. You're not technically giving away anything for free, but what you're doing is you're testing and you're determining that your product, your service, your digital download, whatever it is, actually works, and you're doing that in exchange for testimonials And whenever you do this, I encourage you to find the person that you believe this will truly help, that is very similar, if not actually your ideal client, so that whenever you get that testimonial from them, it's actually speaking to people you want to sell to. I also just wanted to say too that I know selling is hard. It is hard for me as well. I am still working through this. If you're holding back from selling because you feel like you're bragging or you don't even know what to say, remember that testimonials are amazing because they're not about you. They're actually about your client and what your client experienced. And they're about the fruit too. They're the actual tangible what happened when that person went through this program. And when you use AI to help capture and share the fruit and to share what your client experienced, you actually don't just build credibility, you also build connection. So, like with everything, I have to obviously uphold what I'm saying. So, if you would love an AI assistant that helps you turn your client stories into simple, aligned marketing, my AI assistant training program is for you. You already have stories. Let AI help you share them. That's it for today's episode. I hope you learned something new or had a breakthrough. If you loved this episode, take a second to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It lets me know you're enjoying this content and helps more moms find it. And if you know another mama who's struggling with overwhelm and burnout, share this with her. Let's spread the word that AI isn't just for corporate executives or tech nerds, it's for moms like us. Until next time, go make AI work for you.